Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Good morning students, welcome to this lecture. In this lecture we will cover end-to-end digital integration, customization and personalization. So many of you will recall that we have discussed systems integration, but today we will focus solely on digital integration. So that is different from systems integration. Systems integration is bringing different systems together. Digital integration is all in the digital space. Okay, it's about integrating IT systems. Okay, so we will talk about end-to-end digital integration because it's crucial in the context of Industry 4.0. Then we will talk about customization and we will also talk about personalization. So all of these are important concepts in the context of Industry 4.0. So at the end of today's lecture, you will have understood the key principles of digital integration. Okay, what are the principles behind digital integration? How do you carry it out? You will be able to apply techniques of digital integration in Industry 4.0 projects. You will learn how to design products so that they can be customized to individual needs. And you will be able to differentiate between customization and personalization. Finally, you will be able to add personalized features to smart products using what we will learn today. Okay. So, the key question, what is digital integration? Let us try to understand digital integration. In many productized sectors, industry is still operating in a very fragmented manner. Okay. There are many different systems for different jobs. So, think about any company today which operates on a large scale. So, they have many different systems and these systems are doing different jobs. Okay. So, it may be a company in the IT sector, it may be a company outside the IT sector, it may be a product firm which makes mechanical products, it might be a civil construction firm. In most firms which are of a decent size, there are lots of systems and these systems are doing different jobs. Okay. Some systems may be involved in creating the product itself. There might be other systems for enterprise resource planning, manufacturing resource planning, for employee HR, etc. Okay. So, there are many different systems and they are all operating in a fragmented manner. Okay. So, there are different software packages or suites, but they are not necessarily talking to each other. Okay. So, this disconnected technology adoption landscape will not lead to long-term success. So, if you have different technology solutions and they are not talking to each other, then there will be information flows within the company which are crisscrossing each other, and as a result, you do not have integration of all of the information within the firm. Okay. So, as a result, long-term success will be hampered. So, what we need is an integrated approach, okay, which integrates all of these different systems on the same platform. So, the objective of digital integration, so when we integrate, we create the digital integration. Okay. So, what it does is it increases the quality of the data within the firm, it improves the exchange of the data, it improves the conversion speed and also it provides you advanced analytics. Okay. So, the data quality improves because the data from different systems are able to talk to each other. Okay. So, the exchange of data also improves. Okay. The speed at which the data is converted from one form to another also improves, and finally, you get advanced analytics. So, you can make more sense out of the data. You can do analytics on the data because all of the systems are integrated with each other. Okay. You do not have to go fishing for data from various systems and then put it all together on some spreadsheet and try to make sense of it. It can automatically be integrated on the same platform because there is digital integration. Everyone understands? Yeah. So, what we end up with in many firms is point solutions. So, companies develop point solutions for specific problems. So, due to the fragmented nature of certain product development process, companies create these fragmented point solutions. Okay. These point solutions help you meet some specific needs and immediate needs. So, you need a solution to an engineering problem, okay, and you develop a solution to meet that need. So, the systems are good at dividing the work up into chunks, but less effective in making sure that the individual pieces integrate together. So, these systems, they divide the work that you need to do into small chunks, but these individual pieces do not talk to each other. So, maybe you are working on a server virtualization project, okay, and you create a system diagram in Visio on your computer, okay, and then you create a project schedule. Okay. So, the diagram that you create in Visio shows a timeline, okay, as a diagram, okay, and then you create a schedule in MS Project, okay, that shows another timeline. Now, these two timelines cannot immediately talk to each other, okay, but if you integrate them, then you will be able to make sure that the timeline that you show on Visio and the schedule that you develop in MS Project, they are the same. So, if you update one, then the other immediately gets updated. So, you have a Teams meeting with your colleagues and you decide that certain a certain task in your project schedule needs 4 weeks instead of 3 weeks. Now, does that immediately translate into the Visio diagram? Okay. So, if you integrate the two systems, then immediately there will be an update in Visio based on what the change that you made in project based on the team meeting that you have. Okay. So, the problem with point solutions is that data is captured in separate systems by different teams and the time is wasted in integrating the data between the different systems. Okay. So, just like I mentioned Visio and project. So, there might be many such systems and they are all capturing data within the firm, but you are wasting time integrating the data between the different systems. Okay. So, there is a lack of digitalization which is interconnecting the different systems. It not only hinders the collaborative efforts of the teams and key functions, but also slows the operation. So, the operations of the firm gets slowed up. So, you had a Teams meeting, you made a change to one of the tasks in the project schedule, but then because there are so many other applications which are dependent on this change in schedule, then unless you update all of them, you cannot go to the next step, okay, of implementing this new schedule. So, to go to the next step of implementing this new schedule, what you need to do is you need to integrate it all together, so that one update in MS Project cascades to all of the different systems immediately, and once it cascades, you do not waste time in going through with your operations. Otherwise, you would have to spend time first of all listing which all files need to be updated because of this one change, and then you need to update each one at a time manually. So, point solutions accumulate with time. So, every day engineers come into the company and they create these point solutions to deal with specific problems, and they do demand lower upfront costs. Okay. So, you just create something in one application, but the problem is when the projects are scaled up, there are many point solutions needed to meet the demands. So, numbers of these point solutions increases. So, for instance, a company might need only an estimation tool in the first year. As the business grows, there are more tools demanded, such as scheduling tools, bidding management software, procurement management tools, and quality and safety software. Okay. So, your business is growing, so you move on and get all these other tools. Okay. So, initially you had maybe one tool which was an estimation tool, and then you have acquired more tools for more functionalities. So, these tools are all creating point solutions. Okay. So, for same project you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, 5 different point solutions. So, as more point solutions are added to a company's technical landscape, more investment is required. Okay. So, as more point solutions are added, then you need more money. So, that is why we need to create this integrated platform, and in this integrated platform there is an integrated solution, and this integrated solution connects all the stakeholders in one place. So, in this integrated solution you have the modeling team, maybe the quantity takeoff and estimation team, the procurement team. So, all of these are connected in one place. They are all able to talk to each other because of an integrated solution. So, that is what we call as end-to-end digital integration. Okay. So, these integrated platforms, they enhance collaboration across the project regardless of the location. So, regardless of which location you are at, so you might be a team with people in Pune, Bangalore, somebody in Shanghai, somebody in New York. Okay. Regardless of their location, you can enhance their collaboration. So, as the business grows in size and complexity, the platform allows ease of integration with third-party tools, making it effortless to extend platform capabilities. So, if you have an integrated platform, as your business grows, okay, you are making more and more products, okay, and the complexity of your business evolves. There are more departments, there are more people, and they all need to talk to each other. So, this integrated platform, it allows integration with other third party tools, okay, new tools that come from third parties. So, these may be suppliers, these may be clients. Okay. So, you will be able to integrate your tools with their tools. So, that leads to extension of your platform capabilities, what you can do within your company. So, your platform constantly evolves to accommodate the growing needs of your company, securing long term success. So, this is how you achieve long term success. So, there are several advantages of integrated platforms. So, firstly, an integrated platform covers the entire life cycle of projects from planning, construction, operation and maintenance. So, the entire life cycle of a project from start till end. Okay. That is what an integrated platform does. With an integrated platform at the beginning, it is easier to standardize workflows. Okay. You can standardize your workflows and you can adapt to changes as multiple modules interact and share data. Okay. So, your workflows can become standard and not ad hoc. Okay. So, you can have a standard workflow for every project. So, as the different modules they interact and share data, you can adapt, your platform adapts. So, it ensures that all relevant parties are kept informed through the different stages of the workflow. Now, for many companies, project data is scattered and unstructured. Okay. So, an integrated platform provides the common data environment across every stage of your product development or construction process. So, it creates this common data environment where all the different project data can be put together on the same platform. So, this allows teams to access and share the latest project data in real time. It mitigates risks, prevents safety issues and maximizes the potential for productivity. So, you can really share the latest project data in real time. You do not need to. So, there is a meeting, you make the update to your schedule and everyone from all different teams, they get the immediate project data, and therefore, that helps you mitigate the risks. So, any risks that come from a change into your project, okay, so that can be immediately taken into account. You can update your risk register quickly and mitigate the risks. It will also help you prevent safety issues. So, because everything is getting updated in real time, if there is a problem in some system due to the change that you make in one system, then immediately that will be flagged and your safety issues will be prevented. And also it improves your productivity. So, you make your changes quickly, your project moves faster. So, the productivity from your project. So, lots of companies have legacy systems. So, years ago I went to Rolls-Royce and they still use IT systems which were built on Windows 98. Okay. So, such systems are known as legacy systems, and it is not easy to get those to talk with the ones, let us say, are built on Windows 7, 8 and later. So, despite threats to business continuity, many firms continue to operate a patchwork of core systems which with either little to no integration with each other. So, there are still a lot of these core very essential systems, and they are all patched together to make the business run. Okay. And as you know, operating systems keep evolving, there are patches applied all the time, there are security issues that keep coming up all the time. So, integrating the digital data is not easy. So, these legacy systems, they are often developed piecemeal with in-house fixes or manual workarounds. Okay. So, these legacy systems are for specific projects, specific tasks. Okay. So, they are often developed in-house within the company, okay, to fix some problems, or they are just manual workarounds. So, while this may help the status quo of day-to-day operations, while right now it might be okay to have them, this is very vulnerable to disruption. Okay. So, they can be very quickly disrupted, and it does not create an agile framework, okay, one where the business can flow seamlessly. Okay. So, there will be competitors who are more digitally mature, and they are able to integrate their systems, they have built their software tools and packages in the latest with the latest technologies. So, it will be very difficult to compete with such companies which are more agile. Does that make sense? Yeah. Sometimes there are legacy systems and manual processes which are critical to operational success, and yet when you are carrying out your digital transformation project, these legacy systems and manual processes are sometimes ignored. Okay. So, that creates another issue. So, there is a lack of integration, and this is more noticed in very regulated industries such as pharma, medical devices, chemicals. Okay. And despite these sorts of companies which are prime candidates for very short notice impactful disruption. Okay. You might need new medicines, new chemicals at very short notice. Okay. And it is in these companies where there is more of a lack of integration. And to add to that, there are some integration blind spots. So, there are lots of IT systems, but some product assets are usually very siloed. They are operating separately from other IT systems such as labels, artwork and symbols. Okay. So, these are typical siloed product assets. Okay. Labels, artwork and symbols usually get forgotten. You might integrate a whole host of IT systems in your company, but labeling, artwork and symbols, that is usually forgotten. So, usually this is subject to minimal version control. Okay. Everyone understands version control. You create a new file, you give a new version number. So, that is version control, and there is version control software such as SVN available to carry out version control. So, typically labels, artwork and symbols are created ad hoc on people's PCs, and they are not subject to version control, okay, or global insight, getting the insight from various teams. So, this leads to issues. So, integration with print requests and data flows from the ERP system is usually not embraced on a significant scale across the company. So, therefore, we need label and artwork management systems, and these systems play a critical role in ensuring product consistency, consumer safety and regulatory compliance. So, often on the label and artwork of a product, you will give a lot of details about the product. So, if you have opened any let us say an eardrop you buy from the market, inside there will be a little manual, right, and that manual will have the instructions in many different languages. Okay. And if you do not integrate it properly with the actual development process, then this manual may not get updated in all the languages. Okay. So, it will have incorrect information, and that can lead to product recalls. So, take for example, a label for a simple medical device that is intended for the European market. It must pass through extensive review and approval process to ensure that medical, marketing and regulatory information, including all the symbols and markings, they are all present, correct and consistent. To be sold broadly throughout the EU, this device label would be, so there are almost 24 languages in the EU. So, if you want to sell it all over the European Union, then you need to have the device label in 24 different languages. Okay. So, there is an upstream process which is very delicate and susceptible to disruption or human error. Okay. There is a small error, then it can create lots of problems downstream. So, if an incorrect version of a regulatory symbol is used or some medical information is changed in one language and then not updated across all other language versions, it can lead to a major error. And this could even threaten the health of the end user and trigger a costly product recall. If the systems involved in the workflow are not fully integrated into other critical businesses, the risk of recalls can rise significantly. So, what we need is to integrate the systems for artwork and label management together with the systems that are actually developing the product. So, an example of an integration is integrating label and artwork management systems with regulatory information management systems, enterprise resource planning platforms and product lifecycle management solutions. Okay, so, you want to be integrating your label and artwork management systems with RIM systems, ERP systems and PLM systems. So, an example of a PLM solution is Teamcenter. Okay, so, you have all heard of Inventor, you have all heard of SolidWorks, Creo, these are all CAD packages. Okay. But if you want to manage the CAD models which are coming from, let us say, the engineering, from design, from purchasing, from shipping, if you want to manage them all together, you need what is a product life cycle management solution. So, an example of that is Siemens Teamcenter, okay, or Dassault Systems has a solution known as Innovia. Okay. So, these are the examples, or PTC has Windchill. So, these are the PLM solutions which help you integrate data from different CAD packages. Okay. So, likewise SAP provides these ERP solutions, okay, where you can integrate data of different employees from different systems. So, CAPP stands for computer aided process planning. So, computer aided process planning is the use of computers to plan a process. So, let us say you want to make 3D product on a milling machine, on a CNC milling machine. Okay. So, what you do is you create a 3D CAD model on your software such as Inventor, and then you create a tool path for it. Okay. That tool path that you have created, that is the process plan for it, and you take that and insert it into a CNC milling machine, it gives you the product. Okay. So, that is different from PLM. PLM is the different design definitions for that same product which are existing with the different divisions of the company. So, purchasing has a different assembly of the different parts. Okay. Your design will have a different assembly of the same parts. Manufacturing will have some manufacturing features on it. So, how to integrate the different design definitions on the same platform, same software. So, you can have a E-BOM, okay, you can have a engineering BOM, okay, you can have a purchasing BOM, P-BOM, okay, you can have a shipping BOM, S-BOM. So, different BOMs, bills of materials of the same product, how can you put it all together in the same place, so that the different hierarchies for the different definitions can be seen within the same software tool. Do you understand?
Some CAD packages has PDM, product development management.
Product data management. Yeah, product data management is a lower form of PLM. PLM is through the life cycle how you manage it. Product data management will only help you manage the data associated with one product. Okay. So, here you can even have some customer feedback, you can have some maintenance data in there. Okay. So, this is managing the product through the entire life cycle. Okay. So, to understand better, there is this paper which I have uploaded into a resources section of our course, which is titled Sharing Design Definitions Across Product Life Cycles. So, there I have listed a whole host of PLM solutions in that paper, it is listed, and also how to share design definitions across the product life cycle. Okay. So, do read that paper, that is a paper published in the Research in Engineering Design journal. So, now we have cloud computing available which helps us do integration. So, how can we use the cloud to integrate? So, a company can choose to opt for a cloud based solution that can be readily deployed and accessed in any location by any department, adding a new level of scalability. Thanks to the internet and the cloud, we can now readily deploy and access the product data anywhere and by anybody. Okay. So, how do you take advantage of integration in the cloud? An example is, if you have a specific product asset or symbol which must be replaced or updated at short notice. So, let us say there is one product asset that you want to change, you can use a where used functionality within the fully integrated management solution, okay, and that will give you every instance of this asset that you this asset which you want to search. So, you can look up using a where used functionality, and you can then make a bulk update of that particular product asset or the symbol everywhere. So, let us say you changed one symbol of a product asset. Okay. So, you use where used and it will show you 20 different instances, okay, and then everywhere you change the symbol. So, there is no need for manual searching then. Okay. So, data silos residing on individual computers of individual team members, that is reduced, okay, and there are no piecemeal updates across multiple teams. Okay. So, you get what is a single source of truth. Okay. So, there is a single source of truth which is within the integrated solution. So, let us look at an example of such a solution. So, Veracity is the solution which is a global enterprise labeling solution, and this brings trust, transparency and agility to the end-to-end labeling process. Okay. So, Veracity is software which you can find on the internet. Okay. So, Veracity is used by many different companies, life sciences companies, medical device companies, oil and lubricants companies, chemicals, food and beverage and cosmetics. So, many different companies are using this tool. So, they are using Veracity to guarantee the integrity and traceability across all forms of print, packaging and electronic labeling. So, this software tool, it allows end-to-end labeling and artwork. It allows secure Amazon Web Server cloud access. Okay. It helps with automated artwork generation, and it is specifically useful for regulated industries such as the pharma sector. Okay. It has a data centric model and data migration services. So, you can migrate your data from one platform to another. It is compliant to standards, okay, and you can print these labels anywhere in the world, and it comes with business integration tools and lots of insights, and again it provides you a highly interoperable collaborative artwork platform. Okay. So, really many different advantages, and also it helps with approval of workflows. So, many such integration tools are coming around, okay, which are being adopted increasingly by all these companies which are very regulated, especially medical devices and life sciences are very regulated. Okay. All right. So, this is the architecture of Veracity. So, Veracity understands that systems are connected today. So, it has this asset and phrase management tool. It has a content collation tool where different content can be collated together. Okay. And here you can manage various assets in the company, okay, and different phrases that are needed to locate these assets. Then there is a where used function which we are talking about, that works on after the content has been collated. Okay. And then you have a rules engine which enables you to make systematic updates to your assets. Okay. And then after you have made your changes, you review and sign it off from your product manager, and then it goes into artwork and label creation. So, there are semi automated process and the fully automated process, and after the label and artwork is created, it goes for approval and then factory print and e-labeling and shipping. Okay. So, Veracity works through all of this. Okay. So, that helps also with the audit process. It provides you business intelligence and reporting, and it helps you generate e-signatures which are compliant with the EU rules. Okay. So, you see the architecture of Veracity. So, if you have to develop a tool for digital integration, this is the sort of architecture that you have to build. Everyone follows? Yeah. So, let us look at each one of these attributes of the Veracity software. So, the Veracity team recognizes that Veracity is often part of a larger ecosystem of interconnected systems such as PLM and ERP. Okay. So, this artwork and label management system is part of a bigger system. Okay. So, integration with these systems offer huge benefits in terms of compliance. So, compliance is one of the big reasons, visibility and control. Okay. So, they provide standard integrations out of the box, and they work with customers to ensure that the right connections between different systems are in place. Now, let us talk about the where used function in Veracity. So, where used function is a key feature that helps maintain compliance. Okay. It has the ability to identify specific components and recognize every artwork or label where they have been used previously. So, by doing where used for a specific asset, you can find out every artwork or label where it has been used. So, due to ever changing regulations, this makes the process of making bulk changes to icons, images and phrases seamless. So, there are three types of edits you can make, okay, in one go using the where used function: icons, images and phrases. Okay. So, that helps achieve regulatory compliance. So, if the company has this Veracity tool, then if there is an inspector who is coming in for compliance, they can say, look, we have got Veracity, and using Veracity we are making all our updates. So, there is no way that you have any label in any manual that is going in any product from the company that is out of date. Okay. So, that is how they show their compliance. Because it is not manually done, because it is updated through the cloud using this Veracity tool, therefore, that is guaranteed, that compliance is guaranteed. Then there is the asset and phrase manager. So, what does it have? It has the building blocks of all the labels and artworks in Veracity, such as your icons, phrases, symbols, translations. So, these are all available within Veracity, and they are all customized for that company. So, users can organize, pre-approve and reuse the assets in one central location, maintain complete version control and audit trails. So, there is the ability to pre-approve assets and phrases before they are used. So, Veracity gives you the ability to pre-approve assets. So, assets can be approved in advance before they enter the tool, and that ensures that every part of the artwork is compliant with the regulatory requirements. And then there is a content collation functionality. So, that is where the assembly of all of the components and data required to create the new label or artwork occurs. So, you bring it all together, collate it, and that begins the process of creating a new version of the artwork, a new version of the label. So, Veracity enables cross-department collaboration and ensures the content aligns with the needs of all of the relevant teams from marketing, regulatory, legal and beyond. So, this is a data-centric approach, and it reaps huge rewards downstream, helping to speed up artwork creation and approval times, and also enables the where used function to be used for any future changes. Okay. So, everyone follows these 4 attributes of the Veracity tool. Then there is a rules engine. It drives the automated population of content to help drive regulatory compliance across labeling and artwork activities. Okay. So, using pre-configured rules, Veracity ensures that the key regulatory phases and symbols are populated into the correct fields. Okay. So, there is a rules engine. So, it has a set of rules. Okay. So, and these rules are based on regulatory compliance. So, the users do not require local regulatory knowledge, and there is no need to supply the same information each time they create a new project. So, this rules engine is maintaining all the rules that are coming in from the regulatory authorities. Okay, so, you do not need to keep them, you need to supply them every time that you create a new project. because the rules engine has already updated itself with all the rules that have been generated from the laws that are being passed within the EU. Then there is automated artwork creation. So, that enables creating artwork in an automated manner. Okay. So, here the user gets a visual representation of the finished label or artwork. Okay. So, there are two options that Veracity gives you. One is the automated artwork generation. Okay. So, that dynamically assembles the chosen pre-approved content. Okay. And then by using pre-approved templates to automatically generate the artwork, there is no need for human input. So, the artwork is created in an automated manner. So, you create labels and artworks within seconds rather than days. Okay. So, this tool really helps you create artwork for your products quickly. And then there is the artwork approval tool. So, here all artworks and labels are approved before they are available for use. So, Veracity allows the approvers. So, the approvers within the companies, they can make markups to the artworks with annotations and comments. So, they can take a piece of artwork and they can make annotations to it and they can pass comments on it. Okay. And also it gives you a comparison tool. So, you can identify the differences between the previous version and the new version. So, changes can be reviewed quickly and you do not waste a lot of time reviewing the entire artwork. So, artwork might be quite big. So, wherever there is a change, there are annotations and you can make you can identify differences between two versions. So, really a very advanced tool that gives you a lot of advanced functionality, which was all these processes which were very manual in the past. Due to a tool like Veracity, now you can do it in an automated manner. Make sense? Yeah. The final stage is the distribution. Here labels and artwork can be printed and sent to a third party printer or a manufacturing company, and Veracity allows only the final approved version of the label to be printed or distributed. So, that there is regulatory compliance. Only when it has been approved at all levels, only then it gets printed. So, now we have talked about digital integration, we have understood what digital integration is. Now, let us move into personalization and customization. So, firstly personalization. What is personalization? Personalization, as you can see from the word personal. Okay. So, if you are making a personal offering to a client, okay, which is just specifically for that person, okay, so that is personalization. So, you are creating or modifying an item using the customer data to meet an individual's need. So, you know something about the customer and based on what you know about the customer, you are making a personal offering to the customer. So, that is personalization. And customization is a different word. Okay. Customization is where the customer makes the changes to the item to meet their needs or requirements. So, the customer says, okay, I want a Nike shoe that has white, red and black on it. Okay. So, that is customization. Or I want a shirt that has a print with gold and red, okay, or stripes. So, that is the customer making the changes and asking for a specific product, that is customization. Okay. And personalization is where you as a company think, oh, this must be right for this customer because this is what the customer has shown preference for in the previous purchases. So, I will offer this to the customer. That is personalization. Everyone understands the difference? So, the difference when we see when we list the differences, personalization is controlled by the company, whereas customization is controlled by the user. Okay. Personalization requires some data from the user. You are using past data on some purchase or preferences or maybe web browsing. From that, you are using that data to personalize the product to the customer. And customization, it relies on the user choice. So, user can choose what he or she wants. Personalization requires no conscious input. Okay. The user does not have to give some input consciously. Okay. Based on previous data, the company is making an offering, whereas customization requires conscious input. Again, personalization involves no effort from the user, whereas in customization, the user spends his time to decide, okay, I want this product. I want an Aston Martin that looks like that is red in color on the top, white from the sides, okay, and maybe its roof is can be retracted, etc., etc. Okay, so these are the choices that the customer makes. Everyone understands? So there is a difference in the focus between personalization and customization. There is an implicit focus with personalization, and there is an explicit focus with customization. So personalization takes place without actively asking users for their preferences. The company controls and modifies the experience on the user's behalf. So it usually uses some data and some algorithm to do it. Whereas customization is controlled by the users, and therefore it is very explicit, and the users are actively asked to make their choices to tailor the experiences to their own preferences. So examples of personalization. So marketing emails. So instead of saying, hey valued customer, you say, hi Kevin. So that helps create a personalized email that goes out to the customer, and he thinks, okay, this is for me, the company is talking to me. So if you give recommendations to your customers, so suggestions of products or services based on the interests of the users. The user may have ticked some boxes in filling up a form for a card at your company or during a previous purchase. So based on their interests or their settings or preferences or history, you give some recommendations for some products you want to sell to them. In customer service, personalization is very important, because it shows that you know the end user who they are, you know their problems, and you are there to help them personally. Okay, so you know what is the difficulty they are facing, and therefore you are personalizing your delivery, your customer service based on what they really need. Okay. Examples of customization. So most software as a service companies, they provide their customers with the ability to choose their own plans or alter an existing to meet their needs, affecting their price usage application. Okay. So if you try to buy some Microsoft Office products, for instance, okay, so often you will get the ability to choose your own plans or alter your plans. You can choose whether you want a monthly subscription, annual subscription, which features you want in the software, all of that. So you as a customer, when you are purchasing that software and installing, let's say, a new Microsoft Office product, let's say Visio project, you will get lots of different options. So you choose those options, what you want. You want a monthly subscription, you want a subscription to end by the end of this year, all of that you are choosing, okay, or you want a free version, okay. So all of that is customization. So software as a service companies increasingly provide this. For products as opposed to softwares, people can change shape, size, color, etc., layout. So that is customers being able to choose, okay, I want a mouse that is pink in color, okay, or I want laptop whose outer body is gray or silver. So that is customization, okay. So again, lots of product companies are offering that. Again, in advertising, users may be asked, what kind of advertising do you want to be exposed to? So Facebook, Google, etc., they all let you choose what kind of advertising you want. You have a question? No? Everything is clear? Okay. So an example of personalization is Spotify. So you can see Spotify, it personalizes your user's homepage based on songs you have listened to. So it uses your previously listened songs to create this kind of a homepage. Likewise in YouTube, when you go to YouTube, if you have listened to some songs, those songs or some channels, there is a new channel, new video in that channel, if you go on youtube.com, those videos show up on your homepage. So how important is personalization in the age of Industry 4.0? So it has been seen through one survey that consumers are more likely to buy from a retailer that recognizes them by name, recommends options based on past purchases, knows what kind of purchases they make, their purchase history, and offers any of these three options. Okay. So either says, hey Ganesh, welcome to Aldi, it's likely that you will buy some milk today, okay, and you will buy some basmati rice, okay. So that the store knows you. Okay. And even if you don't buy that product, because they know you, you feel part of the store family. Okay. And you are more likely to spend your money there. So, there is a lot of tech that is driving personalization, and all of this tech gives you opportunities. So, there are lots of job opportunities in each one of these areas. So, there is artificial intelligence and machine learning, you have all heard of it, yeah. Voice recognition technology, so recognizing the human voice. Then there are mobile point of sale terminals, okay. So, you go into a shop and they have these tablets where they take your data and they customize the product and they sell you on the spot. Then there is computer vision and sensor fusion, okay, that is driving personalization using cameras and imagery and sensors. Then robots are being also used for personalization, okay. And then there are also IPS, indoor positioning systems, just like global positioning systems. You can be located within 10 or 15 centimeters of a specific product when you are inside a store, and also geofencing, okay. So, establishing some safe zones around a certain location. So, this is all the tech that is driving personalization. We will talk about 2 of these, and the remaining 4 is your homework, okay. So, AI and ML. So, retailers are leveraging AI and machine learning to automate workflows and drive better decisions. So, they are using machine learning to track the buying behaviors, what are the typical things that you buy, and your lifestyle choices, okay. So, using AI they are able to track what kind of things you buy when you go into a store, and with that they are able to automate redundant tasks and improve the productivity of their employees. So, some use cases for AI ML: customer insights and journey mapping. So, that is feasible through natural language processing and machine learning. So, it can sift through lots of customer data and understand them better, and that helps personalize the product recommendations, designs and end-to-end shopping experiences. So, giving specific insights about a specific customer and their journey of different products, all is getting tracked. Okay. Then AIML is used to create these virtual personal assistants, VPAs. So, these are chatbots. So, you go online and you can chat with these personal assistants, and these days if you go on, so let us say you go on Reliance Jio, okay, you are a subscriber for Reliance Jio. If you go and chat, these days it is always a chatbot, you can't talk to a real person. Okay. It is a chatbot and it is addressing customer queries in real time and at scale. Large numbers of people are getting responses due to these chatbots. So, let us say you have a customer base of 10 million people, and all of a sudden there is some functionality missing in Jio, and suddenly you might have 100,000 people wanting an answer. Okay. So, how do you give response to 100,000 people at one time? If you used individual customer representatives to give responses, then you would require 100,000 people talking on the phone, right, or answering these chats. But thanks to these chatbots, everyone can get a response, because it is just an algorithm that can understand what the user wants, what is the problem they are facing, and they can give an answer in real time, answer customer queries in real time and at scale, which is answer large numbers of people at one time. So, those are known as virtual personal assistants, and these have been trained using artificial intelligence and machine learning. Okay. So, maybe they have used lots of training data sets from different chats over several years, and all of these cases have been used to train that algorithm, and based on the training it comes out with the correct response to the user query. Again, by analyzing data about historical sales, marketing campaigns, website interactions and customer support. So, AI and ML is used to do predictive analytics. Okay. So, there is predictive modeling. Okay. So, maybe predicting, okay, in a day how many liters of milk will we sell in Kanpur. Okay. So, accordingly based on the past data, you stock up Kanpur with that many liters of milk, okay, and no more or no less. So, you can actually predict. So, the analytics can be used to make predictions. So, based on historical sales, marketing campaigns, interactions people have on the websites, okay, and customer support. So, all of this is being used to make predictions, and that is driving the business in industry 4.0. Okay. So, here is an interesting example. This is Sephora. Sephora is a company that is equipping its employees with, so the employee has a handheld device like this, okay, and so this scans the face of the customer and it captures the exact skin tone and it recommends products by matching it with relevant shades. Okay, so, you can enter a Pantone skin tone number, or it can just take a picture of the customer, and based on that it recommends, well, which product do you need, skincare product. So, it is an AI powered device that creates a 4-digit code, and this code is known as a color IQ of the customer. So, every customer is associated with this color IQ, and then all the associated data is then securely stored, and this is used to personalize the future shopping experience. So, every time the customer visits, according to that they personalize the shopping experience. Voice recognition technology. So, there is the number of voice powered devices now, Amazon Alexa, Apple HomePod, Google Home, all of these. Yeah. So, these are revolutionizing shopping by making it more accessible and conversational. So, your shopping experience is very much like you are talking to somebody. Okay. So, using voice recognition, these companies are, well, lots of companies actually, they are able to target more customers by optimizing their digital listings. Okay. You can make a voice search for products on the company's website. So, a good example is the Barista app, and you can see here. So, you can say, can I get a triple tall latte please? So, immediately the app tells you, here is what I have for your order. Okay. So, when it then says it will be ready in 4 to 9 minutes. So, if you just speak to the app, okay, then it is able to make the orders for you. Okay. So, either you can chat or you can speak. Okay. Either way, it will give you the product that you need. So, Starbucks has embraced this voice recognition technology, and the capability is there in their app. So, customers can directly place their orders with voice commands before they visit their local Starbucks, and their orders will be waiting for them when they go in. Okay. So, that is, so everyone has understood personalization, customization, and you also understood end-to-end digital integration. Yeah. So, the concepts make sense, but it is good to see them in the context of all the different examples that we saw today. Okay. So, many companies still have legacy systems that are not connected to other IT systems, and so digital integration is a key to have these successful workflows and prevent knock-on effects such as product recalls. So, we need digital integration, and the advantage is, the first advantage is that you will have a successful workflow, you will do things quickly, the productivity will be higher. Okay. And also you will avoid this product recalls. This can lead to a lot of losses for your companies. So, if a product needs to be recalled, then you have lost all the revenue, and also you have also created a bad name for yourself, your brand name goes down, right. The next thing we learned about was personalization and customization. They are the key trends, they are driving sales, they are helping firms beat the competition. The personalization is a feature that requires the firm to make customer specific offerings. Okay. So, your company is making offerings specifically for customers, and customization is where the customer can create his own product. Okay. So, any questions on personalization and customization and end-to-end digital integration? The ideas are straightforward, but there is a lot of opportunity. So, many of the companies that will visit campus, they will ask for these sorts of skills. These are the sorts of projects that are running in Pune, Bangalore, etc. Okay. So, some references, do have a look. Your task for your portfolio is to look at these four technologies. So, mobile point of sale terminals, what are they? how are they driving personalization, okay. Just like I showed you with an example, look out for the examples. Then look for computer vision and sensor fusion, okay. Look for robotic process of automation, and also indoor positioning systems and geofencing, okay. So, explore these, okay, and include it in your portfolio. There is plenty of literature that you can find, okay, and this will also be uploaded to your Hello IIT, okay, so do not worry. So, for every lecture there are tasks given like this, so you must try to do those tasks and include it in your portfolio, and bring that portfolio along to the class and ask me for feedback. So, that formative feedback will help you, because if you get early feedback, then your marks will be better. So, practical task, I have got some sensors, we can go and spend 15 minutes if you have, okay, and also we can spend the next class doing this. So, working in a group of 3, you need to create an ultrasonic sensor web server, then add a LED to the circuit that will glow when the ultrasonic sensor senses an obstacle that is less than 15 centimeters away. Then when the sensor detects the obstacle, the web page for the sensor must flash obstacle detected. So, how many of you have managed to do the LED exercises that you finished everything? So, one at a time, glowing one at a time, okay. So, I'll have a look, okay. Can you show me now? Okay, yeah. So, try to bring it. So, let's have a look, okay. And you can also share the code in the forum, okay. So, and this is the next task. So, this should be also interesting, okay. So, other thing I wanted to talk to you about is your practical projects, okay. So, I have gone through them. So, well done to everyone in sending in your project descriptions. So, some of you still can improve on your project descriptions. It is important to use that double diamond design process. So, many of you have chosen some ambitious projects and there are some details available on the internet, but try to make your own product. Okay, so, when you are walking home, everywhere it says what IIT Kanpur is the most innovative institute in the country. So, if you do something that is already existing, that is there is zero innovation in it. Okay. So, you have to bring in some innovation. It may be already that a product exists, but you make some change that makes it better. Okay. We are here to make the world better, change the world. Okay. So, think about what changes you can make to those ideas, keep the same ideas, but make some changes, so it becomes an innovative product. And also think, okay, I am asking for a transistor, what is it doing in this product? I am asking for a LED, what is it doing in the product? Okay. I am asking for this, what is it doing? How do I add these functions to get the final function? So, do that work. Okay. So, sit down with pen and paper and work your way through. So, start with a design problem, discover it, go and look at many different sources, not just one source. Okay. See what are the solutions they have created and see if you can integrate some of them and create a better product. Okay. So, challenge yourself. So, go through a discovery phase properly and then you define the problem and then you can develop many concepts. Out of many concepts, you must select one concept. Okay. So, showing that process and showing all of this work to create a final product, that is what will fetch you the maximum marks. Because in your final work, you have to show your hand sketches, how you saw different products at different locations and how you integrated them. All of that will go into your report. If it is just copy paste from some single source, if you get just if you just get to manage to get the product working, that is very little intelligence there, right? You will still learn from it by making a product which already exists and you will still face hurdles, but if you make something slightly innovative, you will have more joy, okay, and it will also fetch more marks, because you will be able to show that innovation in your report as well. Also, it may be a product that you might inspire you to do something better in the future. So, put in the time, the effort. Okay. So, when you are going home, so after your meals and all, put in some effort to creating something innovative. Okay. So, we should come out as truly the most innovative institute in the country. Okay. So, that number 1 most innovative should come out in your work. Okay. Put in the time and you will enjoy it. Okay. Alright, so we can go and spend some time. If you have got your kits, you can work in groups of 3. I have got 5 ultrasonic sensors with me and then you can leave.